Well, we've got our own little menace here in the studio tonight. Brandon's got the sport.
A very good evening to you. Eilish McColgan says she's delighted after winning silver in the European Athletics Championships in Munich. Good evening to you. We're just hours away from the opening ceremony of what's set to be the biggest Commonwealth Games in history. Good evening. It's been another strong day for Team Scotland at the Commonwealth Games. They've added one more medal to their tally with more hope for this evening. A very good evening from Dens Park, where the sun is shining ahead of what should be an interesting early season encounter between Dundee and Arbroath. Very good evening to you. Team Scotland have won 2 historic medals at the Commonwealth Games today. In the last few minutes, Scotland's para-bowlers won their first Commonwealth gold in 20 years. And this morning, Alex Tatty Marshall became Scotland's most successful Commonwealth athlete by taking bronze in the lawn bowls alongside partner Paul Foster. Well, from Birmingham, here's Ronnie Charters. Good evening. It's the greatest honour of our careers, the words of Kirsty Gilmore and Mickey Uke after they were chosen as the official flag bearers for Team Scotland at the Commonwealth Games. Good evening to you. Dundee United manager Jack Ross says his side must dig deep following what he admits has been a difficult week for the club. A very good evening to you. Aberdeen's Neil Facky has won Team Scotland's first gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. Very good evening to you. St Johnstone manager Callum Davidson says he's pleased with the way his side are gelling together despite a mixed start to the season. A very good evening to you. Aberdeen manager Jim Goodwin says his players are ready to right the wrongs of last week's defeat to Motherwell. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst says reaching the group stage of the Champions League has to be the target for Rangers every year. The Ibrox side face PSV Eindhoven in the first leg of their playoff tie tomorrow night, as Raman Barbars reports. Well, to tennis, and Great Britain's Davis Cup coach Leon Smith says Andy Murray is relishing the prospect of returning to play on home soil. The former world number 1 joins Cameron Norrie, Dan Evans and Joe Salisbury in the squad for the group stages in Glasgow next month. Smith says it's a huge boost for everyone to have Murray back involved. While Aberdeen face Celtic on Sunday. So that's how the managers are feeling ahead of the big kick-off. But of course, football is nothing without fans. So let's get a feeling of what some are thinking ahead of this weekend.
Hi, I'm Lewis Walker and I'm an Aberdeen fan. Top 6 is absolute bare minimum, but...
Fantastic stuff. Well, staying with the Commonwealth Games, and after landing silver in judo last night, Finlay Allen says it all feels just a bit surreal. He's been speaking with Sheila McLaren. Amazing stuff. Well, sticking with athletics, and Laura Muir began the defence of her European 1500 metre title in style. She breezed into Friday's final on a hot morning in Munich. The 28-year-old, well, moving to football, and if Rangers defeat Union Saint-Gilloise in their Champions League qualifier tonight, they'll face either Monaco or PSV Eindhoven for a place in the group stage of the competition. Well, meanwhile, Dundee United are preparing for their first taste of European action in a decade. Tickets are selling out fast for their clash with Dutch side AZ Alkmaar on Thursday. Good luck to Laura, and big thank you to Eilish for being so generous with her time. Well, moving to football, and Aberdeen and St Johnstone are both determined to get back to winning ways when they meet at McDermott Park tomorrow. After similar starts to the season, the two sides are out to turn performances into points. Here's Stephanie Daly. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst says his Rangers players must give it everything when they travel to Eindhoven next week. Their Champions League playoff hangs in the balance after a 2-2 draw at Ibrox last night, and the Dutchman is confident his side can get a result in what is now a £40 million match. Here's Ronnie Charters. Well, sticking with football, and Premiership teams are welcoming a new plan aiming to double clubs' income by 2029. The new approach comes after a review commissioned by 5 clubs, including Dundee, Dundee United and Aberdeen, made recommendations to raise broadcast money and other revenue streams. SPFL clubs currently share £28 million per year. They intend to drive that up to £50 million. Amazing. Fingers crossed for that one. Well, to football, and Aberdeen manager Jim Goodwin has described Sunday's defeat by Celtic as very frustrating. The Dons were one behind just 3 minutes in after Stephen Welsh beat Fantastic. Hopefully some more medals to come again tonight. Well, to football, and Glenn Middleton could be on his way to Dundee United. Reports suggest manager Jack Ross is keen on bringing the 22-year-old to Tannadice. He, of course, spent last season on loan to St Johnstone from Rangers. Well, meanwhile, Motherwell will start the season without a manager. They've sacked boss Graham Alexander. Comes just hours ahead of the campaign, which kicks off this weekend. Aberdeen are still in the midst of a summer rebuild. Well, moving to football, and it's a huge night for Rangers. They're just 2 games away from the group stages of the Champions League. Standing in their way, Dutch giants PSV Eindhoven. Well, Raman Barnwars is outside Ibrox for us this evening with all the very latest. Oh, I'm jealous, that looks fantastic. Well, not all athletes are in Birmingham just yet. Some are still on home soil making their final preparations. We caught up with Team Scotland's athletics squad ahead of the track events, which get underway on Tuesday. And finally to golf, and Scotland's Ewan Ferguson says playing with friend Connor Syme helped push him to claim his 2nd European Tour title at the weekend. Well, sticking with football, and former Scotland captain Julie Fleeting says England's Lionesses' triumph in the European Championships last night will inspire the next generation of Scots. Moving to tennis, and Andy Murray has set up a meeting with Cameron Norrie in the 2nd round of the Cincinnati Open after a hard-fought victory over Stan Wawrinka. Well, to football now, and Ross County's Connor Randall says a win on Saturday against Hearts would stand his side in good stead for the rest of the season.
Talking of big games though, none bigger than the one at Tannadice tonight. Dundee United taking on the Netherlands AZ Alkmaar, and Brandon Cook is there for us tonight. Brandon.
Yes, Chris, well, European football is back here at Tannadice. Dundee United have waited 10 years to say that. It's quiet here just now, but Dundee United this morning confirmed that they've sold out the ticket allocation for here tonight. So just under 15,000 Dundee United fans will help cheer on their side to what they hope will be European glory. Near Bro signings, Scott Allen says the opportunity to work under manager Dick Campbell was a big factor in his move to the Red Lichties. So potentially a tricky night in store for Dundee United, but exciting opportunities lie in wait should they get through these 2 legs. In the city of discovery, can Dundee United rediscover that European pedigree which defined their glory years? Kick-off here at Tannadice is 8 p.m. More on that in just a few minutes, but first a look back at that disastrous night for Dundee United. What started as a carnival atmosphere ended in misery as they were dumped out of European qualification in the Netherlands, losing 7-0 to AZ Alkmaar. United manager Jack Ross has apologised to fans who travelled to watch their side equal the worst result by a Scottish team in Europe. Before a ball was kicked, Eilish McColgan says she's had the season of her life after winning her 4th major medal in 2 weeks. Yeah, so it's fair to say all eyes on Tynecastle this Sunday. Can United quickly get over that result last night? We'll have all the reaction to that on Monday night's programme. Well, here at Dens Park, Dundee host Arbroath this evening, and defender Joe Grayson became Dundee's 4th summer signing this week. He's here on loan from English League 2 side Barrow. Well, to tennis, where Andy Murray and Cameron Norrie are currently going head-to-head in a final set decider in the Cincinnati Open. Yeah, it's certainly a big night for both sides here. Well, sticking with football, and St Johnstone's new signing Alex Mitchell said the opportunity to play in big games lured him to the Scottish Premiership. So here's a look at how the Premiership is looking this weekend. Aberdeen take on Motherwell at Pittodrie. Livingston are at home to Hibs. As we've just heard, Rangers play St Johnstone. Well, finally to golf, and Aberdeen's Gemma Dryborough says it would be a dream come true if she could win on home soil as she gets set for the Scottish Women's Open, which tees off tomorrow. Our reporter Fraser Nichols spent the day on the course. And just before I go, fresh from her Commonwealth success, Dundee's Eilish McColgan will be running in the European Championships 10,000 metre final in Munich tonight. That starts in just over 2 hours' time. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to all kicking off this weekend. Well, that's all from me this evening. Plenty of sport to keep you entertained this weekend. Whatever you get up to, have a good one. That's all the sport from me this evening. We'll have plenty more build up to the weekend's football fixtures and tomorrow night's programme.